And happy Friday, business owners. I am so excited to be here. I'm so excited I got the technology to work today. We're good. I'm Dana Ball. I am a small business attorney here in the state of Utah. And this is our third broadcast. And we are here offering you, the small business owner, legal insights into your business that can help you protect your business. We want you to be compliant. We want you to be aware of things that you can be doing that are practical, that will give you some protection in case something should happen. We don't want you to end up in court. We want you to know what you can do today to protect your business. So last week we talked about emails and text messaging and how those can be used today to follow up on important conversations and events. If you haven't had a chance to watch that broadcast, I encourage you to do so because it will play an important part in what we're going to be talking about today and over the next few weeks as we kind of dig into particular situations that you run into as a business owner where the email and text messaging can work together in conjunction with what we're talking about today, which is contracts. Oh yes, contracts. When I bring this up to clients or people who call in, business owners who call in, they're uncomfortable. And honestly, we are here to make you feel uncomfortable. I think they feel uncomfortable because they know, that you probably need a contract that you don't have in place, or you've got one that isn't quite working. So just remember that. We are here to make you feel uncomfortable because we want you to stop when you end watching our broadcast, that you go and do something about it and you make a change that will end up protecting your business. But contracts, it's not an ugly word. That I get that reaction that it is. Ugh, I don't want to do it. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to think about it. But you need to, as a business owner, you need to really think about that word contracts. So today I'm not going to give you a full presentation or class on what a contract is, what elements make up a contract. We're not getting into that stuff today. If you need that, then I have a great Animate video. It's just over 2 minutes on our YouTube channel. I'll include the link in the description of this broadcast, and I encourage you to go and watch that. It's quick, but it does, if you're confused at all about why a contract is a legal binding document, this will kind of put those pieces together for you. So go and watch that after this and share it. So here's a little bit of trivia. I like a little bit of trivia, and this one stood out to me. So back in the 19th century, lawyers used to be paid by the word. So for those contracts that they drafted, the more words they threw in there, the more money they earned. Wow, that makes sense because I'm sure you've seen those contracts that still kind of pop up today a little bit, that are just chock full of legalese, where the paragraph fills the entire page and it's single spaced, and you need a team of lawyers to decipher what the heck that document is saying. Well, today, you should not see contracts like that. You really shouldn't. Some courts are actually fining lawyers who draft their briefs in such a way that they incorporate a lot of legalese when it's not necessary. So as a business owner, you should be able to pick up that contract and read it and get a basic understanding of what it is saying. You still need an attorney to review it and help you understand the terms and what they are truly meaning and how they apply to you and your circumstances, but you shouldn't need a team of attorneys to break it down, and you shouldn't need to go to court to break down that entire document. So here's what the pain points are as a business owner. When I bring up the ugly word of contracts, it's either you don't have one and you know you should, with certain individuals, and things have been going, and you feel it in your gut that I really need to put something in writing, but I don't have time. And you just keep putting it aside. Second thing is that we tend to rush into signing contracts. You do, and I'm sure you have. So you're in a hurry to start working on a job, they've given you a contract to sign, you read it kind of, and you're like, I'm sure it's fine, I'm sure there's nothing in there that that other company would put in there that would harm me. You assume too much, and you will soon realize if that has happened, it does come back to bite you. And that's the pain of a business owner, is no contract, and a year, 2 years later, things fall apart with that relationship, and you have nothing to stand on because you didn't have anything in place. And then, or you've rushed into signing a document and you didn't completely understand how the terms apply to you, and it doesn't work out well. So I get this question, this is like the top number one question that I get, and that's why I'm addressing it right now. I have business owners almost every single week ask, why can't I just download a free contract online? Why can't I just pay a minimal fee and buy one from an online legal resource? What's the difference between you doing it, Dana, or an attorney doing it, or, it's much more cost effective for me to just buy it online for free or an online legal resource? So my answer to you, sure, nothing's stopping you. You can do that. I just encourage you not to. And this is a really big issue that companies do not understand fully. When we draft a contract, we have to, they're different for every single client. I start with my own template, and I don't know of one circumstance over the last 20 years where I could take that template and simply put in the names, the date, and basic information and print it up and call it good and say, here you go, client, it's all done. Never. Those documents have to be tailor-fit to your type of business and your management style, or it's going to set you up to fail. So what do I mean? Your business is not the same as my business. So for example, a dental office is not the same as a flower shop, right? They may need the same type of contract, like an employment agreement or an independent contractor agreement, but it's going to be drafted, the terms will be tailor-fit to meet that type of business. They may not need all of the terms that the dental office needs. Like a dental office is under HIPAA. Flower shop isn't. They don't need all the HIPAA terms in there. It has to be tailor-fit to your type of business, but also to your management style. So here's the tricky part. Each of us who own businesses are different. We have different personalities. We handle our management duties differently. And if there is a term in there in the handbook, for example, that doesn't work with my management style, I'm not going to want to follow it. I'll probably ignore it because I'm not comfortable with it. Well, our job is, as attorneys, is to figure out how best to set that term up so we accomplish the same goal, but set it up in a way that fits with your management style so you can be successful and it won't come back to bite you because you agreed to it in writing, but then you never followed it. So a contract is important because it's putting rules in place that the parties to the contract need to follow. And that's the key. So yes, you can spend the minimal amount or no money, get one of those contracts online, but here's the problem. Contracts are like insurance, right? You spend money for insurance. Every business owner does. because you visualize the risk that could happen. If you don't have insurance in place and your building burns down, you need that insurance to cover the bill to rebuild your building. The legal fees you will spend today to have a contract drafted to protect your business is minimal compared to the legal disaster waiting for you if you don't do it right. So keep that in mind. So here are just some contracts that business owners like yourself probably need, and you just need to look at these and think about it. You may not need them, but these are the most common for business owners. Third-party agreements. So if you have services, a client services agreement. If you bring on independent contractors, you need an independent contractor agreement. Sometimes you need an employment agreement. Not all the time, but sometimes. Definitely if there's more than one owners, you need a partnership agreement. So the most common is if it's set up as an LLC, an operating agreement. And then we get to handbooks, and the next few weeks we're going to dive into each of these types of agreements and situations so that you can understand exactly why they're important and how they can help protect your business. Contracts clears up misunderstandings from the get-go. And we look at the future, so we try and figure out all the uncertainties today and how we're going to deal with them today so that when they do come up, you can go back to that contract and say, oh, this is what we decided. Okay, the other thing I want to leave you with is that contracts, they're fluid. So you don't draft a contract today and then say, okay, I'm good. 20 years from now, I'll probably need a new one. That is not the case. These agreements, as your company grows, as things change with the services maybe you offer, these agreements the terms can be adjusted. You just need to do it in writing. So keep that in mind. We need to review these often. And I'm going to leave you with one question today. If you have contracts in place, when was the last time you picked up your contracts and actually read them and looked over them and understood what was in them? So there's my question of the week. I will see you next week. Thank you for joining us. We are here in Utah to help Utah business owners get unstuck. If you feel like you're stuck, give us a call and we will help you get unstuck. Thank you. See you next week.